friends, thanks for joining me for Gothic Girls Collaboration, which is co-hosted by myself, Creating with Jovi, Scrapbooks and Memories, that is Jennifer, and Bexx with Black Whisper Crafts. There are 21 collaborators, and I would love it if you would show everybody some crafty love. There will be a video posted each day this month, so you'll have plenty of spooky season inspiration. Now I'm going to take this that I just showed you, and actually there's a whole nother side because this is an accordion journal. We're going to take this and we're going to add a little something to it. So I thought what we would do, this is the front and this is the back. Both of these pockets, the front page and the back page, both are big pockets. And I thought what we would do is sort of find the middle, which, let's see, let's count it. All right, great. So we can use either this or this as the middle. And I think I'll go ahead and use this as the middle. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to actually add some pages to the center. And I think that'll be different and fun to have in an accordion journal. So I had purposely left some pages out so that I could do this. So I've got them folded in half now. Before I go any further, I'm going to go ahead and ink the edges. If you don't have black ink and you'd like to ink your edges, you can use the edge of a marker. Let me show you. You know, sometimes when we first start out, we don't have all the tools. It takes a little time to build up our supply. So what you can do is just grab a marker that's got a fat tip on it. That makes it a little bit easier. And you can just roll right down the edge of your page. And that's another way that you can do that. All right, so one of the things we're going to do is I'm going to figure out which papers look good next to the other papers. Hopefully that makes sense. And all of these will probably look pretty good together, but let's give it a look and make sure. Actually, I am happy with that. The only thing we could do is switch this with this one, and then this with this one. I don't mind that. And then let's make sure that this looks good next to that, and it does. And it looks good next to that. Let's test the other ones and make sure there's nothing better. I do kind of like the darker black, actually. I do like that better. And let's check the final one. No, I like this one next to these girls. So let's figure this out. Then we have this as an option or this as an option. Okay, I think this is what I'm going to settle on. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to settle on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew that in real quick. Oh, and you know what? While I'm getting ready to sew, I'll look in my bin and see if I have any cool dark papers. Okay, my friends, I found a few pieces that I had created during a jelly plate session. So I think we're going to sew this in. I think that's pretty cool looking. It's a bag, so we can stuff the pockets, and because we'll cut this end off and that'll be a pocket. And then we have this nice piece of paper that we can put in because I think the colors are kind of cool. So I thought what I wanted to do, friends, is I want to go ahead and just tear the edges, because you can see that there's some edges that they don't have any paint on them. So let's just get rid of those. It can be a little sloppy. I think I'd kind of like that because there's a lot of prettiness in this. We got a little creepy, we got a little pretty. So let's have a little sloppy here. Let's see if we can tear this to have some uneven edges. There we go. We got a little uneven edging there, so that's nice. I like it. And then let's check this. Okay, I think that looks great. And then who knows what we'll do with this side? It doesn't matter. We'll deal with that part later. Or we can just put a little decoration around the edges, and then that can be used to write on, you know, or to mount a photo on or something like that. So friends, I was toying with the idea of actually adding this to a different section. For example, you know, it could go here. And I don't know if I like that idea, but I kind of do like that idea. Just to sort of mix up this accordion journal thing that we've got going on. So let's be daring and do that. If I recall correctly, for the sides to be even, this was a middle, and yeah, and this was a middle. So we could go ahead and put the paper bag one here. Oh, and for fun, we could add this. And I think what I would do, if I'm going to add this here, I would turn it this way. Okay. And I would do this, because I think that looks really great next to the photos. Or I mean the images. Yeah, I super duper like that. Okay, so we're going to do that here in this section. And then in this section, we're going to go ahead and add these pages. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I have this. This was recently sent to me in one of my giveaway videos. And I'm sorry, during my 4K giveaway, this was sent to me. So I think the patterns are similar. Well, you saw some in here that look like this, wherever they are. I promise they're in here. There we go. Here's a large sample of it. But it's sort of got that same flavor. So I was thinking we might go ahead and add this too. If I fold it. And it can go, honestly, if it's just one, I could put it right here. I might want to decide how I'm designing this page before I did that, but it's food for thought, that's for sure. Or it could go here. Now I kind of like that. Look, because the brown goes really nice with the pumpkins. Okay, I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to go grab my wax thread. All right, my friends, I've got some black thread here. It's wax, my awl, and my needle. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this bag. Actually, friends, I was getting ready to go get my cutter to cut it, but let's just tear it. Let's just do that. There we go. Now we have an opening on each side, and I like that. And I'm not going to make it even. I'm going to go ahead and leave it the way that it is, just for the fun and the texture of it. Yep, that's what we're going to do there. All right, so friends, if you have never sewn in a signature, this will be super easy. I advise for you to practice with just some scrap paper that you have laying around. You can grab some right now if you want to. You're going to do 3 lengths of your page with your thread, and I probably didn't need that much because actually this piece of paper is much shorter than the length of this. So 3 lengths of the size of your paper. And when you do it with one, it's really, really easy. You're going to thread your needle, of course. Now, I've never done this in an accordion journal, so, this might be a little different because things might be flapping around. Actually, let me grab my clothespin and I will pin this together so it just goes, it'll move around, but just in like one piece. It shouldn't get in my way. So let's hope that's true. And then I'll go ahead and clip these together as well. That should keep the flipping and flopping to a minimum. All right, so when you're working with just one piece of paper, you don't really need to measure anything. I think it's okay and pretty safe to just eyeball it. Now, if you want to measure, you sure can, but like I said, with one piece of paper, you don't need to. All right, so hole in the center, then your needle goes through. You can see it pop out right there. I leave my needle in, it holds everything steady. You can paper clip things together to hold them steady, however you want to do it. Then you can go up here or down here. I typically go to the top, but it doesn't really matter. There's no special order as far as that goes. You pop your awl right through there and pull your needle through. And then it's going to go through the hole you just made. And this is a little different for me because this is an accordion. So this is very different. We don't usually sew in a signature in our accordion, but we are doing an accordion with a twist. How do you guys like that? Let's just be creative and have fun, right? This is proof that there's no rules. You know, I don't have to do anything any particular way because somebody said so. We just have fun with it and use our imagination and enjoy the ride. All right, so this went through, and we're gonna pull that, okay? So you can see that we went through the middle, went through the top, went through the bottom. Now I'm gonna go back through the center. There it is. There it is. And then we just pull that through, okay? And then the last thing I need to tell you about that is that you want to have a piece of thread on each side of this middle thread, okay? And the reason for that is because that will keep your, when you tie this, it'll keep it from popping back through the holes that we just made. All right, then you have to pull it tight, and this one's giving me a hard time for some reason, so let me have a look-see. Back here, you always want to check back here. That feels pretty good. It maybe just feels a little different to me because I'm not used to working with just like one piece of paper. I'm used to working with many. So it probably feels just a little flimsy maybe to me or something like that. But as long as we have it tight, that's what's important. And that feels pretty good. If you don't have it tight, your signature will come loose and it'll flop around, and you don't want that to happen. I always tie it 3 times. And you may have noticed that I tie it in a different direction each time I tie it. Like I'll do it normal, how I would normally tie a knot, and then I'll go the opposite way. And I learned that a long time ago from a lady, and I'm sorry I can't remember the video, but that's what she said to do. And she also said to smash your wax down and it melds the wax together so nothing comes untied. All right, so we got that in, so I'm kind of digging that. I think that's a lot of fun. So I want to make sure the structure is sound, but I want to be careful not to do things out of order that might hurt us in the end, if that makes sense. For example, like this page is perfectly fine. There's a pocket in the top. I don't need to mess with this at all, okay? Maybe add something decorative later, but again, that comes later. So we open this up. This is good. I don't need to do anything here right now. As you might remember that I have 4 pockets that are part of the digital kit. Let's go ahead and cut these out, but we're not going to put them on this page because I don't like the way that they look right here. Let's go ahead and find, we'll develop that later. Let's go ahead and find a page that we want to put these pockets on. So let's see how it might look here if we did one here. I like because this is a little bit of a red color and it matches with this. So definitely let's do a pocket here. Now usually I don't put pockets in my journal kits, but this was I think a special request if I recall correctly. And the reason I don't do it is because I prefer to make pockets out of like these cards. You know, I like to do that, make a pocket, or take a piece of paper like this. If it's thick enough, this would be a little too thin, but size it and then fold the corner down. That's what I like to use as pockets. Or sometimes from my kit, I'll even use like ephemera for a little side tuck. Oh gosh, that looks really good there. Oh man, guys, that looks really, really good there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ink the edges of that and I'm putting it there because it just looks too good. You know, sometimes that's how things work and you have to go with your gut. You have to go with your gut because that's what makes you happy. Because this is an accordion journal, I would consider it to be, you know, a little less secure, although we'll probably make a tie and all that kind of stuff. But my point is, I'll go ahead and put something down here, like a tab. And I thought I had some, I do, okay. I'm gonna use this and I'll make a tab for the bottom so that whatever tag we put in here, it can go in the tab and it won't fall out of the journal. I'm just gonna round the edges. Makes it look more finished. And we're going to add some glue and we're going to put it right here. All right, now we're going to go see where this might look good. Oh yeah, I like it right there. I like that. I think that looks really cool. Okay. All right, now I want to show you something that I do that helps to bend these. I always print this kind of stuff out on pretty heavy duty cardstock, and it doesn't always bend super easy. So what I like to do is grab my cutting board. Now I have one of these that has like an embossing thing on it, but this one only has a razor on it. But that's okay, have no fear. Oh, I forgot to cut the center out. All right, so what I like to do, because I know I'm gonna have to bend this, this, and this. So I line it up and I make sure this line is in this line. And then I grab this little tool that I have. You could probably use just about anything, just so that you can sort of gently press it down in the track. And we're gonna do that on all three of them. And then we just take it and fold it. See, and it's super easy to fold, and it folds nice and straight, so I like that. Another reason why I don't make pockets for my journals, for my journal kit, is because they have these foldy things, and I don't always love these. I don't know. Anyway, but some people like them, I guess, so that's important for me to remember as a creator, is that just because I don't maybe like something doesn't mean somebody else doesn't like it and want that included. So that's a good thing for me to know. I'm going to add these just to hold this in place while it dries so that we can hunt around for another spot to put another one of these pockets. Oh, I kind of like this too. Yeah, I think we'll put it here. And I wonder if we should, because this is the outside. You know, like this would be like sort of the back cover. But let's flip it open. Okay, so here she is. Let's have a look. No, I don't like it on that side, but what about over here? Not bad. It sort of goes with this, but let's keep flipping. Okay, I like it here because the colors work. So let's add it right here. We've got one more of the bigger ones. It's not a huge pocket, but it's bigger than this. So I was thinking, I mean, because this is a pocket anyway, maybe even here. So you got something in that pocket, and then you'd have a little pocket on the outside of that, and then another pocket here. That could be cute just to put something small in there. And then we'll, you know, decorate the outside. Yeah, let's do that. All right, I have got that on there. I'm just gonna make sure I have it straight. I feel like it's just a little bit crooked. I'm gonna see if I can push it up just a hair. There we go, I think I got it. All right, my friends, I went and dug around my ephemera and I thought I would grab a few things that we could decorate with. And I like this pumpkin, and actually, I think I'd like to use it on this pocket. And it sticks up over it just a little bit, but because this pops out, I think that's okay. I don't think anything will get caught up in it. Or actually, I could pull it down even a little bit lower. Yeah, I kind of like that. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to cut this so the top is not quite as square. It kind of looks a little square. So we'll just take a little bit of that off, and then that looks a little bit more natural. And actually, I want to see if I can add a little ink around the edges just to sort of give it a shadowy look. It's not going to be much, it'll just be a little bit, and that's perfectly fine. All right, I'm going to get a little glue on there. Now, I'm not going to put glue right up here at the top because I don't want it to get on the paper there. Oops, I just said I wasn't going to put glue on the top. Oh man, that's so funny. All right, I'm gonna wipe that off a little bit. Okay. And then I'll pull it down a little further. Oh yeah, it'll be fine. Matter of fact, I'll put some of that back. That is gonna be fine. We'll put this right here. Yeah, that looks super cute. And it gives a nice pop of color, and it ties it in with these pumpkins over here. So I like it because of that. I may or may not add another little something right here, but I don't have anything at the moment to add there. So we're gonna move on and we'll go find the other pockets, and let's see what we can do on those other pockets. So let's take a look, see if we can hunt it down real quick. Oh yeah, I think there's one in here. Okay, we've got a small one. So let's see, we have this house, and I just thought that was cute because we have some mansions in this journal. So for now, I'm gonna pop that in there. It's a little bit small, but if I add something to it, I think it'll be fine. And here on this pocket, so I have some choices. We have leaves, and these are pretty big. Let me see if I've got something a little smaller. I do. So I have these. The colors are nice with the paper bag. So let's go ahead, actually, let's go ahead and use, I found these on clearance, by the way, at Hobby Lobby not too long ago, 62 cents for this pack. And I was thinking what I would do is add the flat ones first to the bottom, and then I'll add the two-dimensional and some corn. And now we'll add one of these leaves. I like that they're on this clear thing so I can see how it's gonna fit. And I think I like this big one. I am going to add a little bit of hot glue to this just to make sure it's adhered really well. Okay, and then we'll definitely add another tag, but we'll do that later. Today we're just gonna decorate these 4 pockets that we've inserted into the journal. Now let's see what we'd like to add here. I found these also at Hobby Lobby, and I don't know, actually I was thinking the colors wouldn't work, but this one I think does work, and I think that could look pretty neat. Let's take this out of here and have a look. Let's try this on right here. What do you guys think of that? I think it looks kind of nice. Oh no, I like this one for sure. I don't know, there's like a little bit of purple in it. Let's just go with that. Ooh, you know what I could do? I have some of this scrap lace from trimming these last week. So let's go ahead and add that, and then we'll add this on top. You can add a little hot glue to this as well. I like that layered look. I think that's nice. I mean, that was pretty simple, but has a nice impact. And then later on, if I want to add a little satin trim around the edges or something, I can. All right, we should have one more. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is a small one as well. Let's take a look at this cornucopia. It's big. It's got a lot of color in it. I like how the oranges tie into the house. I'd have to trim it though. Oh, I do like these leaves sort of coming down from the corner. Okay, so this is an option for sure. Let me see what we have here. We could do this. Okay, my friends, this was pretty basic stuff today, but I think it was good because, you know, the basics and the complicated things are all part of building a journal. So we're gonna call this a video. Check out all of our other collaborators. I will have them listed in the description box. Thanks for watching. See you soon.